So I made this beautiful dress to wear at my friend's wedding. And if you're interested to know how I achieved this dress, watch this video and let's get started. Hi everyone, welcome and welcome again to my YouTube channel. Thank you for always coming back to my channel. In case you're new here and pink it down, please subscribe, comment, share and like. In today's video we are making a long dress, a long off-shoulder dress with bishop sleeves and open back. So here's the fabric that I'm going to use. Now I've just folded it into 4. I'll measure 11 on every fabric, which is 11 times 4, and I'll measure the length of what length I want, the length of the dress. Then I'll cut it off. Right now I just have to measure from the waist to hip. I'll measure 1, going down to the hip it's 7. My hip from waist going down is 7. Then I'll connect that. Then from the other length I'll measure like 1 inch again. Then I'll connect from hip going down like where my length is. After that I'll cut it off. So I'm done cutting it. This is the front side and these two are the back side, left and right. So we're done. Let's make the front. I will use this small fabric since it's just the front only. The back side is going to be open and it's going to have some thread at the back. So yeah, I'm just measuring 15, which is the size that I want. That's my half long or half length. I know this fabric is small, but with what I'm making, it's not small. So this is the piece that I have. I'll just cut here to make the size look the same. So I'll measure my armhole, which is 8, and I'll measure my shoulder, which is 7.5, 15. It's 15, so divide by 2 is 7.5. Then my neck, which is 4. I'll connect it. Since it's an off shoulder, connect 4 from the shoulder going to the neck. After that, I'll cut it off. Then as you can see, this is the front side. This is it. So right now I'll use this organza for the sleeves. It's going to be bishop sleeves and it's going to have elastic. So I'll just make it like a free style. It's going to be free. It will have like long fabric. I've already measured the measurements, like how it's going to be, like the sleeves, the size of the sleeves. So this is almost like 16. So I fold it into 2 like that. I'm measuring like how much I want it to be. That's 16. Then I'll cut that off. Since the other piece I don't need it. I'm cutting the off shoulder sleeve. I always take the front or the back side to see how the sleeves is going to be, how I'm going to connect it. Then I will cut from there so that it can be easy for me when I'm connecting the sleeves with the back side and the front side. So I'll cut it off. After that, I'm going to cut the band which is going to be on the hands. So this is the piece which I'm using. I just want to cut the band. So that's the band. I'll measure, that was 6 inches. And my hand is almost like round of it. Round sleeve, it's 8. So I'll divide that into 2. I'll do that. I'm trying to measure like what's my hand size. Like what's my hand size. So that's it. That's how I did it. And this remaining fabric, I'm going to use it as a side fabric. I don't know what it's called, but you see it when I'm done. You can even tell me what it's called if you see, since I don't know the name of it, but it's just a side. I'll just, when I'm done stitching, I'll put it aside like a style, then I'll connect to the other side. I'm cutting like the thread which is going to be at the back. I cut this, but I didn't use it since the holes I made were too small for this. I use elastic at the back, like the back side was elastic, not this one. So now we're done. This is the back and the front. I'm just connecting it with the pins. So I'm just pinning it up like that. After pinning it up, I'll go on the sewing machine and do the needful. I'm just attacking the back side with the front side like that. I think I'm done. So after attaching it, this is how it's looking. So let's go on the sewing machine. Now it's done. This is how it's supposed to be. Right now we just have to connect the back and the front. So this is it. Let's go on the sewing machine and do the sides. We should sew the sides. This is how I want it to be. So let's stitch it and see how it's going to look like. I have to measure first. How much is my waist? How much is my hip? Yeah. So my waist is 28. So I'm just measuring 28. Then I'll go on the hip. I'll measure 7 to start measuring the hip. My hip it's 39. Sometimes it comes on 40 when I get fat. So yeah, I'm just connecting from the waist to the hip. As you can see, it's curved. It's showing that this is the hip. And after that, I'll go down to connect everything. The measurements from down, you don't need like really to measure it since it's just going. The only thing which you have to measure on a pencil dress or a pencil skirt, it's waist, hips, waist and the hip line. That's what I'm just trying to do this. That's the hemming part at the back side. So yeah, now that's how it looks after sewing it, after attaching the back piece and the front piece. So this is what we get. So now let's connect the sleeves. Then I'll go on the sewing machine and do the needful. After that, I'll show you. This is how I'm doing my back side. I'm just attaching the holes which I made with my grommet machine and putting those pins which I can put the thread in it. So this is how the dress looks on me. This looks pretty. Oh my gosh. Look at it and look at the back side. Everything looks so neat and perfect. You can try this. I hope you have watched the video. You haven't skipped, and So this is the picture of me wearing the dress, which looks fabulous. Thank you guys for watching. See you again in my next video. Bye.